conversation. I'm going to share it with Jack. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
50% of the states.
Only 50% of the states require that you take a civics or government class, right? Okay, and then like in Ohio, for instance, it's not required to teach the Holocaust. It just isn't, it's not, it's an option, for teachers or whoever is going to put it in there, which is like so different from California. My experience has always been in California where all these things are like required, right? So every state is different, and even the tests that they take to get the graduation, to get the diplomas, this are different, it's just totally different, totally different.
Tell me how slavery is taught in Ohio versus California. I mean, did you touch on it in, is that strictly history or in social studies?
History. It's history, and of course, like and I think in most states, I don't know how much of it's talked about, and I can only speak to California, and I only know some of Ohio. But one of the things about Ohio that's kind of interesting is that the Underground Railroad ran right through here.
Yes.
So there's all these structures are here, and all these things, Harriet Tubman, and everything. So therefore, they do a nice job of the Underground Railroad and slaves and things like this. So they do touch that. Now that's more of definitely a middle school curriculum. So I think most kids in the U.S. get slavery. It all depends on what spin you put on anything, but yeah, definitely.
I just wonder, I have yet to connect with Mississippi and that wonderful woman we saw from the public broadcasting station. I would love to connect with her and just understand this specific point. And do you recall, it was Mar, actually, who, after our first presentation, the first day, she wrote to me, she said, make it really specific, like history. Focus on history that you're teaching. I think, wow, okay. I mean, you can show a lot.
Right, exactly.
But where in high school subjects do history and social studies overlap?
Well, they do in high school. They do for sure. I mean, yeah. And once again, I think it all depends on your state, right? So, definitely in California, you've got a strong social studies program, depending on the high school, the district, and everything else, and history programs. So they're all covered. And, obviously everything's an elective. The only thing that's required, is U.S. history, world studies, semester of economics, semester of what's the other, health, right? Health, I guess it is. Yeah, things like this. So, I mean, that's basically, it's U.S. history, world studies, economics, and in California, civics government. That's the semester. Yeah, so that's semester. And that is basically it, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years.
These are all coming from state governments who are following these guidelines, which may come from the federal Department of Education.
Right. Right, exactly. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it all depends. It all depends on the district you're in, the state you're in. It all just depends. Like the district next to us, not next to us, but Fremont Fremont Union. So it's right there, Sunnyvale. Fremont. Like can't think of the other little city right there. Part of San Jose, etc.
Campbell.
Like they have. Yeah, Campbell. Yes, Campbell. A little bit of San Jose there. I mean, they have a big business program. So they have a lot of business classes. Like we had none at my high school. None.
And you're Los Alamos.
It all depends. Yeah, no business classes at all. No, I think they were perceived more. I remember business has an old reputation. It's got an old reputation. I think it's primarily why. But they do have a large program, Future Business of America. Kind of thing.
Right. What about that nifty program?
That was pretty impressive. That was really interesting. Very interesting. I had no idea. I wasn't familiar with that at all. I thought, wow.
I think it's pretty new. I wonder if your high school, or I wonder if we can. I mean, it's certainly nonprofit and they require volunteerism, but it would be interesting to connect with them as maybe as co-marketing.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. I I thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was networking.
It's
Networking for teacher education. No.
let's see, Nifty networking
Net,
for
mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs.
Teaching entrepreneurs.
For teaching entrepreneurs, yeah, something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Okay. Which is all. This is this is exactly like what this Screen 360 is. It is it's teaching entrepreneurs, teachers to entrepreneur. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly this is what I see, and the dual market
Right.
that Steve Weinstein pointed out on the first day, which I was really pleased that he did that, and I wish he would respond again. But yeah, maybe we just didn't tap dance nicely enough for him.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I think we'll come back to him. But I think I kind of like the way it's distilling the Jacksaw to distill it into just two veins of memberships: household and filmmaker.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that really distills the conversation. That
right. Exactly.
I'm
I
excited
think so.
about that.
So I think. What's that?
Well, I said I was going. I just wrote Craig today, and you got a copy of that. I think I may have included that in, but I may not have. But just the distillation, I'm thinking about that more. It takes a little while when you have a concept of how it would be priced, and I was thinking of really school districts and teachers or classrooms, and I was thinking of that one small, but I'm really thinking of households being at another time after more established. But
no, I'm looking forward to our conversation tomorrow. Seriously, I am. Because I've been reflecting a bit. So I want to just get things out and see what let's all kind of brainstorm together and see what we think. And maybe I'm curious to see what you and Jack are thinking also. And
we'll
I think
start
that
with that
because last night, let's do that because tomorrow. Last night we were like, oh my God, I need.
Whoop.
You want to make sure, the path, you still have options for paths, so
yeah,
it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's sure. My connection is unstable. What's happening?
Okay.
It's really hot here today, and I think that happens too on hot days.
It's crazy. Okay, sounds good. Okay,
all right.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for talking about that course today. I'm so glad I did it.
Oh yeah, you know what? Always need a debrief. Call me for a 10-minute debrief anytime.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.